That's your cameraman?
Yep, that's my cameraman.
Okay.
He's gonna supervise. Okay, so this is for my lifespan development class. Let's see. All right, so how old are you?
I'm 93. I'll be 94 next month.
All right. All right, who were the most important people that contributed to your development, both as a child and as adults? And in what ways were they important to you?
Well, the most important one, of course, would be my mother.
And why? What was her important role contributing to your development?
Well, outside of your mother kind of leads you into the way you should go.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always important to have your mother there.
Right.
And other than that, there are so many people involved in my life, I'm hard to say.
How about as an adult?
As an adult, like what?
What ways did they contribute to your development or the way that you are now?
That's awful hard to say because I don't know exactly. Seeing as how the kid's dad died at 50, that made it quite a few people
Yeah.
in my life.
Well, there can be more than one.
Because he was a carpenter and I helped him so much, I learned to be a carpenter.
Okay. All right. Do you think of anybody else that's important to your development as a child or an adult? And in what ways?
Whoa, my goodness, as a child, I had 5 brothers.
Yeah, I'm sure that would do something.
Yeah, they taught me how to play baseball.
Yeah, there you go.
Saying
There's
to the
that.
kid who had 4 sisters.
We had a
Yeah.
baseball diamond in our backyard.
Yeah.
And all the neighbor kids came over and played baseball. So I don't know what you call, what things you really count.
Anything. Anybody that was important to you and played a
Like
big
I
role
said.
in your life.
Like I said, Leslie's dad, as I said, he taught me to be a carpenter. He also taught me how to fish. And I taught myself how to fillet fish.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see.
Because I
What
always
about
got
after
stuck
he
with
died?
cleaning them.
Yeah.
What
And-
about after Grandpa died?
Well, then I got married again, and we both loved to travel, so we went motorhoming full time.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's...
I learned how to drive a motorhome.
Yep. And you got to see everything.
Oh, we saw a lot of things.
Yeah. Where did you guys go?
Well, I think we went to Alaska 4 times.
Yeah.
You went
Huh.
to Alaska a lot with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful, the trip up there. And that's through Canada, and Canada is beautiful too.
Mm-hmm.
The chairs out in front.
How
so-
did Grandpa Homer impact your life?
Oh,
Other
that
than
was
the
him.
traveling.
Homer was the one that we went traveling.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, how else did he impact your life?
Not a whole lot, except our traveling and all that we saw. We saw an awful lot.
Yeah. I can assume
But
traveling
other
a
than
lot.
that, I don't know. Didn't really change it after that, because I liked to travel, he liked to travel, and we did a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that. That's why we wanted to sing that song, I've been everywhere, man. Breathe the mountain air.
Yeah.
So,
All right. What events or developmental milestones were particularly significant in your life? Like milestones or something that really sticks out to you?
well, that was probably it, because it changed what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. How about as a child? Was there anything that...
Oh, well, let's see, what did I do as a child? Well, I lived in the same house from the day I was born until I got married, so there wasn't a whole lot of change there.
Yeah, did you go to any type of college or anything, or what did you do after you
No.
got out of school?
I didn't go to college. I didn't even graduate.
No?
I was in the 11th grade. And then World War II came along and everything changed.
That is so fun.
Yeah. And how did that impact your life?
Out of that,
Yeah.
well, we went to Willow Run bomber plant. What in the heck was the name of those airplanes? B-24 bombers. And I was Rosie the Riveter.
Mom.
I don't know what that means.
And that's
Let me search
a
it
lot
up.
of work we're putting rivets in those airplanes and building them.
Oh, you built them? Oh,
Yes, we did.
that's really interesting. And how was that? Was that
How was that?
yeah?
Well, I tried putting the rivets in, and that made my shoulders hurt.
I'm kind of assuming.
And I did the job nobody else wanted. I bucked the rivets. You crawled inside of those big airplane wings and you bucked the rivets.
Oh,
You know what that means?
I have no idea.
Well, on the outside, they put the rivets in the holes down the outside to hold the skin on. You know what I mean when I say the skin?
Yeah, the outside of the.
That's the outside
Right.
that the plane is made out of. It's a frame and it's covered with thin aluminum. And that's the skin. Well, you put in a lot of rivets and you got a big old gun it. And somebody's got to be on the other side of those rivets to make the ends go down. And that's what I did. I built B-24s.
That's really cool.
And then after a while, I did some of the wiring in them.
Did you do that for a while?
Well, I would have done it longer, except I got pregnant with your grandma. And I had morning sickness 24 hours a day.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was 21 when she was born.
21. And how did your life change after you had her?
Well, then we went back to Traverse City and built a house. And that's when the building started. He was forever building a house.
Oh yeah.
We'd build a house and we'd sell that and move somewhere else and build another house. So I was forever building.
So you moved a lot then?
What?
You moved a lot?
Too much,
Yeah.
because his work seemed to take him different places. So we remodeled one house here in Portage, and we built a new one here in Portage.
That must have been fun though.
I saw it. Grandma drove by there.
Yeah.
That built one
Yeah, it's still.
did you see the one that we built?
Hunter, will you grab
Yeah.
my tea on the counter, please?
I thought maybe Marie had shown it to you.
Yeah, she did.
I know it's
Here's
a
it.
pretty house.
It was.
It's right over there on the
That's
by the
why
sink.
that was a bi-level. And that's why when she bought this one, I said, you knew we couldn't keep the heat downstairs. Why would you buy a bi-level? So. But you did it. And you can't keep the heat downstairs.
All right. Is there any thing that sticks out to you when, I guess whenever all the kids moved out and they were on their own, and how did that affect your life after they were all gone?
You mean when I was growing up?
No, after
After the girl?
after Mom and Uncle Les left.
Well, I just seemed to be automatic. She left when we moved and took the job with Walgreens, and we're on the road building Walgreens drugstores.
Oh, you built Walgreens?
Yes, he worked for Walgreens for a while.
That's cool.
Is that where you got your stock from?
That what?
Is that where you got your Walgreens stock from?
Yes,
Yeah.
he bought that while he was working there. It was about the only way he could get it, is if you worked there. That's how we got it.
That's cool. So did you guys move around a lot after it was just you two, or did you stay in one
Yes.
place?
We did.
Moved around a lot?
Well, we were building a house on the lake. And it never did get finished. Because I didn't like the steep driveway. I thought in the wintertime,
Yeah.
how you gonna get up and down that driveway?
It's hard. It's hard to do it, I'm
And
sure.
worse than that, if it happened to be slippery, and brakes don't work then.
Oh, yeah.
And there was an 8-foot drop at the bottom of the driveway.
Wow.
And
That's-
I didn't like the sound of that.
I would not either.
And the house wasn't done, so I just sold it that way.
Hmm.
I would love to have lived on the lake. On the opposite end of the lake that Uncle Don lives on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, it was a small lake, which was part of Long Lake. It's Mickey Lake.
Mickey, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice area over there, too, huh?
Oh, it was pretty there.
Yeah.
Still is.
Hey, don't back up.
And that lake got warmer. So it was really nice swimming there. I liked the location, but I didn't like the steep lot. It was awfully steep.
Yeah. That's going to be a bit of a deal breaker.
So that house wasn't even halfway done when he died.
Hmm.
I got
When did Grandpa build the boat then?
before that. Which boat? The little dinghy?
The little one.
Oh, that's when the kids were small.
Little, yeah.
Living in our first house.
Okay.
He built one, plans that he bought, made, and built one. And he didn't like it very well, but it was a very light, it was to carry. And some guys borrowed it. They wanted him to build one. He said, I don't have time. And they borrowed it. And that little lightweight boat, they just threw in the back of their trailer and didn't tie it down. Well, the boat took off down the highway and went end over end. And it must have said that kind of busted it up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Will they come back with it? Well, we'll pay you to fix it. He says, no, you won't. I told you I didn't have time to build a boat. You just bought one.
And then it fell out of the truck.
That is what he told him. You just bought one. You want me to build you a boat? You just bought it.
Yep.
He says, now you fix it. I don't have time. And so he had him pay for it. And this gave him an excuse to build the boat the way he wanted. The next one he built was wider than that and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And that boat was in more lakes and more places. And you care to think about.
Is that the one that, the videos that Uncle Don showed us that you guys were in? I'm wondering. Remember all those videos he showed us when we were there?
I don't remember which
I
one.
wonder if it was the one that Grandpa built.
Well, if it was a small one that they carried, that had to
Then
be
it was. It had to have been the boat.
It was a little over 8 foot.
Yeah, I bet that was the one.
The original one had sides like that. Now you put sides like that on the new one. The thing I wish I had pictures of was his sister's husband, Eddie. Well, Vernon was heavy. Eddie was heavy, and Eddie's brother was even fatter. And the three of those big, fat guys went fishing in that little boat. I would love to, they're all weighed over 200 pounds. I would love to have a picture of them when they got in that boat. I always laughed and I said, rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. That's what I always figured.
Yeah.
It just sounded right for that boat. With those 3 guys in it was like a tub. That was funny. But I couldn't get a picture of them because how do I get down on the Betsy River where they were fishing, building houses here? Well, and he got work better in Traverse City, so we went back there. That's when we started doing, we already had the property on the lake and had basically started that.
Mm-hmm. What?
Do you have headphones?
No.
And he went to work back there. and we're building that house, and that's when he had his fatal heart attack.
Yeah.
So, then it was 1985 when I met Homer, and we got married and wanted to go full-time in the motorhome. So we live full-time in a motorhome. Now that's something a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
It just live in a motorhome. They travel in it, you know, weekends and maybe a month at a time, but you don't live in it year after year.
And how was that different for you than living in a house?
Well, how would you like your house parked in a different city or a different state every time you parked?
That actually sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
I think I was fantastic. I loved
Yeah.
it.
What was some of the coolest places you've been?
Well, we were in every national park.
That's Eric's and ours. Mine and Eric's
When
school.
we were in Washington State, we were there in the summertime when the wild blackberries are, they didn't cut them all out of our campgrounds. They just cut out enough that we could park.
Yeah.
And we got up there and I says, oh, everybody's picked the berries. And Homer says, you can't get any. Well, I did. I pulled the picnic table up against, blackberry bushes were that high. I pulled the table up against the bushes because they were all picked down as far as I could reach.
Yeah.
And so they must have been 6 or 7 foot high because I stood on the picnic table and picked enough blackberries that I made a blackberry cobbler, and I made one batch of blackberry jam, freezer jam.
Well, that sounds good. Bet it was really good.
So you do all kinds of things when you're traveling.
Yeah, I'm sure. How about when you were in Alaska? What did you see there?
Oh, we went fishing for trout, and we just went sightseeing in Alaska. It's just a beautiful country. Oh, and the best thing is, wasn't the best, the worst thing. We had our little motorhome. Transmission went out in that.
Oh. When you were traveling?
We were still in Canada and we wanted to go to Anchorage.
Oh.
And that was a little motorhome. And I mean a small one. It was built on a Volkswagen chassis. And the transmission went out. Couldn't get it fixed where we were, so we had to take it to Anchorage. He put that thing on the back of a, they don't tow vehicles anymore, they put them on a flatbed.
Oh.
And he put that motorhome on a flatbed.
Wow.
And we took off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and never stopped until 9:30 that night to get something to eat, and then took off again. It didn't stop until we got in Anchorage at 5 or 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
That was one straight shot. In one stop.
I don't think I could do that. I'd
I
have to
couldn't
pee.
make that. I couldn't make that. I need more pit stops now.
Yeah.
But that, how much you think that tow job was
I don't know.
to drive that far?
I don't know.
It cost me $2,000 for that
2,000.
tow job.
Actually,
That's-
that'd probably be like 5 times the amount now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably really expensive
Well,
then.
That wasn't that long ago.
In the 80s
No, no.
or 90s? That was when you were in the 90s, probably.
That was already in the 90s because
Yeah.
I'd already moved
Okay,
to Texas.
so it'd probably be about $4,000 now.
I was in Texas by that time.
Yeah.
My neighbors wanted to go to Alaska, and they didn't want to go along. So Homer said, sure, we'll go with you. That was our 4th trip. And they had a regular Volkswagen camper with a pop-up top and stuff. Because his wife had been sick a lot. And he says, well, she wants to go so bad. And she only lived 2 years after that. So we did make a nice trip for her. Oh, and they had a forest fire in Alaska. They had
Oh, that's
gone up,
nice.
and on their way back down, they did that trip while we were sitting there. trying to get the motorhome done, and we met them in Anchorage. Well, while they're driving up the forest fire, there were embers landing on their car,
Wow,
their motorhome.
that's pretty close.
That's scary.
Yeah, that fire was pretty close.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So, we've done a lot of interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which one would you say would impact you.
I'm sure they all do. They definitely all do, for sure.
Just out of curiosity, I don't know that I ever remember you telling me how it is you met Homer.
With what?
How did you meet Homer?
You really want to know? This
Yeah.
is funny. This was funny. I had just bought into that campground because I wanted to travel. I was going to get a motorhome, small motorhome, and travel by myself. And I thought, well, if a girl is going to travel, and they had these campgrounds that you could buy into, and nobody could use them if you didn't buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, for a girl to travel, that would be a lot safer than just the state parks. Anybody can come into them.
Right.
And there won't be in these kind of parks. So this was, what's the name of that town? California, on the, going up the coast, north of LA. And so I had been out to California. In between Uncle John's, was Belva still alive? Did you ever meet Belva?
No,
I don't know.
no, she.
Oh, she's a
I
sweetheart.
know.
You'd have loved her. We had a great time when she was there. But she got cancer, and
Yeah.
died of cancer. Uncle Ray's wife died of breast cancer. So, any rate, her mother had a stroke and wasn't able to live by herself. And I needed someone to take care of her, and I wasn't doing anything. And I asked Don what he was doing. He says, oh, we're getting up and giving Mom a bath and going to school, coming home, fixing her lunch, and going back and teaching school. They're both school teachers.
Mm-hmm.
He says, then there was just so much to do. They didn't bother to cook. They just went out to a cafeteria and ate. Because it was just too much with everything. And so I said, would you like some help? He said, oh, I thought you'd never ask. So I went out there for 2 years, the last 2 years they taught, and took care of her for them. And this was the second year. They were both retired by then. And so when school was out, I had promised Uncle Ray that we'd take a cruise to Alaska. So on my way up there, he was north of there, I stopped at this campground. And I had a van. It was really a delivery van. It wasn't a van like you use.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a bed in it, and I had made it up like a small camper. Of course, there's no bathroom in it, but
Yeah.
you find a campsite close to the bathroom.
Right.
So I pulled into this campground that I had bought into, and I got myself something to eat, and I thought, well, I'll go out and see what the campground looks like. By that time, it's getting dark. And I walked around there, and there's a hedge there, and then I come around there. There's a campfire going, people sitting around, but there's a picnic table with a beautiful big cat on it. I had to stop and pet that cat. Just like you guys, you gotta stop and pet the cat.
Oh, always.
So I did. So I went over to pet the cat, and the lady comes over, she says, why don't you come and join us? I said, well, that sounds nice. She said, well, where's your husband? I said, I don't have one. Well, he doesn't have a wife either. This is exactly what she said. And so she made sure the chair was right next to me. So I sat down there, and whatever we do for the chit chat for the evening, and when it's time to go home, they said, well, be sure you walk her home. Well, when I went on back to my rig, he was parked straight across the street from me.
Coincidence.
Not down someplace else, but right straight across from me.
That's fate.
So I spent a week there, and he had to show me, this was one of the nicer campgrounds. It'd probably been someone's ranch, beautiful big ranch, because the barns were there for the horses, so they had riding horses there, and they just had a lot of things there, and there was places to walk in the woods and that, and we walked for the places. We did a lot through there. And then when I got ready to go a week later, he decided to go too. He went up, I stopped at my brother's there for a while, and I went on up because we had to get the cruise ship at in Canada. I can't think of the port right now, but it's right on the edge there of US and Canada. And you took the cruise up there, the Inland Passage.
Okay.
And he just followed us. He decided he was going to take the cruise with us, and went all the way up there,
What?
Sound off.
and followed us all the way back to Uncle Don's. And he spent the summer there. No one said stay or go, or no one asked.
He
He
just-
just did it.
So it's there by default. Okay.
He
That's
just
funny.
kept following me.
It's like a lost puppy.
This was, I said, it wasn't different. And I said, well, when you going, by September, I said, when you going back to California? He said, whenever you go back with me. I'm not going unless you go.
That's funny.
Well, I only knew him 3 months, but I'll tell you, when you just go with somebody, you see them for a few hours and they're gone.
Yeah.
Except the guys that you're living with now, but that's different. You got to learn to know them then.
Right.
A lot more than if you're just seeing them every year it turned white. He's 3 years younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And my hair was still brown. I was 62. It's easy to remember because after we got back from the cruise, we stopped at the first national park there. I don't even remember the name of it. And Uncle Ray went in first. He had his Volkswagen camper. Homer had a Volkswagen camper, and I had my van. So it was the three of us going down the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And Uncle Ray went in first and said, my sister wants to get a Golden Age passport. He said, well, you got to go inside to do that, he told me. So he went in, and the guy looked at me and looked at Homer, and he says, you're not old enough, but I'll give it to him. Well, he's 3 years too young. And I almost said, no, you won't, he ain't old enough. But I thought it embarrassed the guy.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I just let it go.
Why wouldn't you have, Grandma? You're a spicy little cracker.
I know, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Yes, I probably am.
You are.
But I try not to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yes, that's true.
So I didn't say anything. But his hair was white and mine was brown. So he did look older than me
Yeah, he
because
did.
of that.
But he always did look older than you. He always did.
Well, he wasn't. He was younger.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, that wasn't unusual.
A little bit. Yeah, that's
That was
that's
different.
funny. And how long were you guys together?
25 years.
Wow.
It's a long time.
That is a long time.
And it would have been longer had he lived.
Mm-hmm.
So was Homer retired by the time
Yes,
he was already retired?
yes, he was.
Yeah, he retired early.
Well, he'd worked 30 years
Yeah.
there for the, he worked with crash damage aircraft.
Right.
So he was, maybe you'd call him metalsmith, I don't know. But he worked on airplanes.
Yeah.
at the Naval Air Base on, mostly they were aircraft seaplanes and stuff, because it was the Navy. Well, they had a lot of landlines too,
I want some ice
but
cream.
the base was on an island.
Hmm.
Right
So
out of
you stayed on
San
an island?
Diego. And they finally built a bridge to it.
Oh,
Because he said when he first started working there, he took
he had to.
A ferry.
Right, yeah, a little.
he took a ferry.
Oh.
Every
They
day?
called it the
Yeah.
nickel snatcher because it cost them a nickel to cross on that ferry.
That's funny.
Well, that's when a nickel meant something.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. About the time Marie was born. Because when his boys were born,
Yeah.
when they were little. And so he worked there for all that time. So he worked long enough to retire, so he retired. Why continue working?
Yeah, exactly.
And he got his retirement pay. So he had quit before 65. I think he was 59, and I think he'd been retired a year by then.
I was gonna say, I couldn't figure out if he were right near retirement or if he had already. He had to have been if he could just follow you around.
Yeah. As I said, he was only living in his motorhome.
Yeah,
He didn't have anything else to live in.
yeah.
And basically, I didn't really either at that time. I'd already sold my house on the lake. So neither one of us had a house, so it worked out perfect for us to get a motorhome and go on the road. We didn't have to sell anything because we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
So, yes, I suppose he did make a difference when you have a life of living on the road,
Yeah.
just living in motorhomes. That's different than what most people do.
That's definitely different. More interesting, for sure.
It was very interesting. Well, Leslie's dad, he liked to fish. And so our vacations consisted of camping and fishing. We go up to Canada for 2 weeks and fish. And of course, you're camping at the same time.
Right.
So I got in a lot of camping.
Yeah. Camping is fun. I definitely enjoy camping for sure.
Oh, I enjoy being outside, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Summer is my favorite time. 'Cause then I'm
Fall,
all
spring, you can go camping anytime.
well. I like
Fall
the
is
warmth. The warmth is good for me.
So,
Not when you're fishing. You fish in the muck and cold, and the colder it is, the better the
we
fish.
went fishing in Canada in the middle of the winter.
Nope,
Yeah,
I could
nope,
not do
I
that.
don't want to do that.
It was 0. And
I
we
wouldn't do
rented
it.
a cabin up there.
Polar bears being around, thanks.
The bears are hibernating in the wintertime. You have to worry
We're
about
not
it.
in Alaska. Alaska's got polar bears. Canada don't.
No, I didn't see any polar
No,
bears.
they have moose. You gotta worry about the moose there in
You
Canada.
gotta worry about the
And
Wait,
they have
frostbite.
they don't have black bear, they have brown bears,
Hey,
right?
what is the plural
Yeah.
term for moose?
They have
Brown.
both.
They have both?
Well, I've seen both. But at one time his
First
dad had
brown
bought
bear this summer.
a Jeep. Cab over engine. And that was the worst vehicle we ever owned. Worst riding vehicle I've ever been
Yeah,
in.
Rough Rider.
The springs were so stiff on that, shook the stuffings out of you. And we were Canada in that one time. And a mother moose and her baby walked in front of us. If there hadn't been a window there,
And
What I call swamp.
marshes.
and they eat what's in the water. They'll
Oh.
stick their head clear under. They'll come up with their antlers full of
Huh.
greenery.
Yeah. Those are cute. I wanna see some moose.
Yeah, until you run across one, they're mean as hell.
Yeah, but they're cute.
Yeah, I've seen, there's a lot of moose. Another time when I was up there, I knew a guy
Hunter.
and, in Alaska,
Head
they
off.
don't let any meat go to waste. If you hit a moose or elk or whatever, you jolly well better butcher it. At first it was the guy that hit it got it,
Yeah.
because it pretty well damaged his car. He
Yeah.
didn't hit it on purpose. Then it got where they kind of had a lineup people that could get it. And this one guy, he was good at butchering them. So somebody hit it with their car, they didn't know how to butcher it, so they'd call him.
Yeah.
And he always got some of it for helping them. Well, he'd got some steaks, and we had elk steaks for dinner. Oh, that was good.
That's interesting.
They taste a lot better than deer.
I don't like deer. Deer.
Deer has a strong flavor.
It does.
I mean,
it's
deer
very-
neck soup is pretty
I think I
good.
had an elk burger. I think I had elk
They're good.
burger. And bear.
Elk is
I
good.
had a bear burger too.
I know.
That's kinda gross.
The only bear I had, my neighbors had got a bear, but that was Clark's. And that's when they didn't have frozen food as much as they do now. Freezers was just starting to be popular.
Yeah.
And they had canned their meat.
Ew.
I think he built his whole house out of the lumber he cut back there.